Hey, what's up everybody? This is Nightwing2303 from SneakerFiles.com. Today we're coming at you with another performance review, and today it's going to be on the Jordan 2011 Q-Flight. This is Jordan Brand's quicker model for, strictly for guards, whereas the 2011 was for both quick and explosive. It's a really great shoe, highly recommend it. So, let's get right into it. Starting off with the bottom of the shoe, we have the same exact outsole and traction pattern that we've seen previously in the 2011 Air Jordan, as well as the flyweight. The 2011 A-Flight also shares the same exact midsole and outsole construction. So the 2011 had most of them had the clear outsoles, which for me just didn't cut it. And then the flyweight upgraded that with the translucent sole as well, but it did have texture throughout, so that one was a little bit better. This is solid rubber, and for me this was perfect. This worked well on every single floor that I played in. I played on 3 different types of courts, 2 of which were hardwood, and then the third one was this weird, like, I don't know how to explain it, but they're like plastic puzzle pieces. And that floor is awful, so you really have to have good traction in order to stay put on those floors, and this one worked out perfectly. Not too much to go over with the traction, since we've already done this 2 times previously with the flyweight and the 2011. So all I'm going to say is, for this style of traction pattern with this with the elephant print, solid rubber is just the way to go. Solid rubber made all the difference in the world, and for me, traction on this particular shoe was just absolutely perfect. Out of 10, I'd probably give it a good 9.5. I still prefer herringbone over anything else, but as far as having a storytelling type of pattern, solid rubber was just the way to go. So on the Air Jordan 2011, you had interchangeable midsoles and cushioning. You had the explosive red with the Air Max full-length unit, and then in these guys here, you have the quickness midsole and outsole, just like the blue ones that you can use in the 2011, which are right here. So this shoe right here has the same exact setup that you see right here, with the exception of the carbon fiber that is placed underneath here. You'll notice that there is no carbon fiber shank there. However, inside of the shoe, underneath the Ortholite insole, there is a midfoot shank underneath the nylon fabric. So just because there isn't anything in there visually, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Instead of it being underneath, it is actually directly underneath the insole here. So in case you guys haven't seen the 2011 performance review, I will just show you real quick what the cushion setup looks like in the 2011 Q-Flight. There's a lot of glue on here. So the insole you see here, it's a very soft, or it's not super soft, but it's cushioned. I believe this is a type of Ortholite, whereas the insole that comes in here is your standard blue Ortholite. So antimicrobial, odor resistant, and all of that kind of good stuff. It wicks away moisture off of your foot. So those having them in there is just absolutely perfect from a performance standpoint. And once you put the shoe on, it's extremely comfortable as well. As far as the midsole goes, I believe this is just Phylon. I'm not positive on that, but it's comfortable enough. And I know that with the 2011, the blue and the red were 2 different types of foam. I don't know if that's the case in this one, but inside of the shoe, it's going to be set up exactly like this, where you have the heel Zoom Air unit, and then you have the full length 4-foot Zoom Air unit. And what I mean by full length is it goes from side to side full length, not full length all the way down. With the Kobe lines, you'll only have a smaller zoom bag right here, whereas these guys have it full length. Only problem with this setup is that eventually the glue that holds down the airbag in the forefoot, upon all of this flexing movement, it will start to deteriorate and separate, so you'll get a little bit of a rubbing or a squeaking noise inside of the shoe. Not too big of a drawback, but this is the cushion for a guard and someone like myself who prefers Zoom Air. This is absolutely awesome. I love the cushion setup. And then for the 2011 A-Flight, you have the red insole setup where it's the full-length Air Max bag. The material and the fit on the Q-Flight, again, it's something for me as far as my opinion goes. It's completely an upgrade from what we saw in the 2011 Air Jordan. On the heel and the toe cap here, we have a genuine leather. I don't know if it's premium, but it's really, really nice, and I really enjoyed having that on there. It's just a little bit more durable, especially when comparing it to the leather used on the 2011, which was a really soft, malleable leather, which was called patina leather. It's like an Italian type of material. And then on the mid panels here, and it also wraps right here, and then all the way on the other side, we have a Jordan brand specific fuse tech. So it's a little bit different than something that you'd see with say the Hyperfuse or even the LeBron 8 postseason, where that Hyperfuse material is very thick. It's almost rubbery, and you know, it takes a while for it to break in. This stuff here is completely different. It's extremely thin. It still has the 3 layers, but you can see here that it just gives much more for your foot. So when you are inside of the shoe and you are moving, it's perfectly fine, and I absolutely love it. As far as the lockdown goes, you have the same exact setup. You have the inner sleeve here, just like the 2011. You also have the seatbelt loops, and they go underneath the footbed, so when you lace up your shoes, it completely hugs and wraps around your foot here. One thing that I thought was better was the lace setup is slightly higher up, so you could see that, where these ones start pretty down low. So when you did lace up your sneakers, there was a little bubble right here, and then every time you would flex, it would flex all of this stuff up here. So by placing your laces a little bit higher up, basically it's just one lace loop up higher. So instead of all the way down here, they just removed that and then started at the second one. So with that, you don't have that bubble right here. So that makes the forefoot fit completely perfect. There's no slipping, there's no extra space. It's just a very comfortable ride. And then instead of flexing outwards here, they actually added these notches. So every time you had your shoe laced up and then you'd bend, you can actually see where your foot strikes. And so it bends right at those notches there, making the fit stay conform to your foot. And there was no, no flexing of the material, so there was no, it didn't compromise your lockdown whatsoever. The upper section, everybody has noticed that these are cut a little bit lower. However, the boot is nearly the same. It's a little bit higher on the medial side, whereas on the lateral side it dips down and cuts your ankle. It's the same exact thing inside both shoes. So the only thing that's different is the actual shell is a little bit more low cut versus the 2011, which is slightly higher cut. Now, one thing that I thought was awesome was the additional eyelets up here. So you have 2 options. You can use the forefoot or the front eyelet, or you can use the back. I chose to use the back one because it really locked down and wrapped your heel and kept it into place inside of this shoe here. Since there is no heel notches, you kind of need to use these. If you use these ones here, when you are transitioning from heel to toe, your foot will slip out just a little bit. So I preferred to use the second eyelet there, and with that I had one of the greatest lockdowns ever, besides something that you might find in like a Kobe, as far as a Nike Jordan product is concerned. So breathability and ventilation, It's a lot different and much better in most aspects versus like something from a normal hyperfuse construction. The fuse material is a single layer mesh. It's very thin, you can see through it, so it allows a lot of heat and moisture to escape your foot. The inner sleeve is a double mesh, so you have a layer up top here and then inside of the shoe, which you won't be able to see, but there's another layer inside of there, and that also allows moisture and heat to escape from the center of the foot. The only problem that I had with the breathability was right inside here. There is a thick material that is not mesh. It's some sort of stretchy material like a lycra or a spandex type material, and that actually was placed right in front of the fuse material. So you're getting more ventilation than you would in a typical shoe, but it's not perfect by any means. You know, if I was going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a good 7, maybe a 7.5. It's good, but not perfect. Overall, the 2011 Q-Flight is by far, in my opinion, whereas guards are concerned, one of the best models that Jordan Brand has made to date. You know, the traction just was completely solid, especially with the solid rubber outsole. The cushion, my personal favorite, Zoom Air, can't go wrong there. The upper materials are actually quality materials, something that we don't ever see on retros anymore. And if we do, it's very rare. So using actual leather and then a modified fused base up here at the top, it just was, you know, they put a lot of thought into this shoe, which is something that I like. And not only did they think about it a lot, but it also translated on court to a really nice performance model. The overall value for the shoe, it comes in at about, you know, $120 max. You can usually get them for a little bit less at certain online retailers like Pick Your Shoes. You can get them for about $109 to $104, and for that price, I mean, they beat pretty much almost every shoe out on the market, especially when you think about the 2011 that retailed, I think, for like $170, and I mean, this thing just blew it out of the water. So and you're saving about $60–70. So this shoe, highly recommend it. I absolutely loved it, and if you're a guard or a quick player that prefers Zoom Air, this is definitely for you. Alright guys, so that pretty much takes care of the review on the 2011 Q-Flight. You know, this is a quicker shoe for quicker players, smaller guys, guards, 1 and 2, maybe a 3 even, and this shoe is probably one of my favorites. Actually, this is probably my favorite Air Jordan shoe to date as far as like performance goes. So I thought this was 10 times better than the 2011, and it even topped the Flywave for me. For those of you that are on the explosive side, maybe a 3 or a 4, there is an option for you. There is the 2011 A-Flight. So those are slightly higher cut. They have full-length Air Max instead of the full-length Zoom, and then they have the Flywire upper. They're still crazy light for a Jordan shoe, and it still will give you all the support and cushion, plus the traction that you will need to perform, you know, at your best on the court. So you know, this is for the quicker guys, and then the other one is for the more explosive players. Both of which are great shoes at great prices. So you know, that pretty much takes care of this guy right here. Coming up next for you guys, we'll have the Air Jordan 8.0. If you want any information on these so far, please visit my site, nightwing2303.com. There's already been a couple of posts on these during the performance testing, and then right after these guys here, we're going to go with the Adidas Adizero Rose 2. So I know that everybody's excited for that. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as check out SneakerFiles.com. You can also check out my site, nightwing2303.com. So until next time, guys, have a good one.